All right.
Good. We on?
I guess so. Yep, we're on.
Uh,
All right. Thank you very much, Ross the Boss. Welcome to another episode of the Rock and Roll Gypsy Diaries with your host, Andy Thunders. And I'm interviewing Dictators founding member, co-founder, and Manowar co-founder, as well as Ross the Boss and Ross the Boss himself. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. A lot better. Last week I was really sick.
Yeah, I was kind of feeling ill yesterday. That's why I had to
Oh my.
reschedule. So
Oh my. I was really. I mean, really sick last week. Could barely stand.
that's my wife right now.
But I'm feeling better now, and so many things, so many great things are happening at the moment. So it made me happy. I was like, really, I was like, yeah, I was so sick, but I said this morning all this good shit is happening. So.
Been the same way with me lately. Do you want to delve into some of that good shit that's happening for our viewers, for us?
Well, you want
What's going on with you
well,
right now?
well. I mean, this is going to be a dictator-centric interview. So, basically, in a nutshell, the new dictators uh, is me, Andy, Albert Bouchard, the original drummer from Blue Oyster Cult, and Keith Roth.
I saw you guys perform on the Metal Hall of Fame broadcast, and I was talking to our good friend Donna, who mentioned and got
Right.
us in talking. I just want to shout out to her as well.
Cool.
You guys
So
sound fantastic. I love that unplugged,
you
stripped
do?
down
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
I
We
was
were.
I was so happy hearing Pussy and Mike.
I got to tell you, it was a day of firsts. It was the first time Albert played with the band. It was the first time Keith played with the band, and it was the first time we ever did acoustic thing. So
that's fucking brilliant.
I mean, what could have gone wrong? I mean, there was I was like saying, do you know what you're fucking doing? Do you know that do you know the dice you are rolling right now, bro? I told Andy, do you know the dice that we're rolling right now with this? And everybody's gonna see it. And I go, we got it together.
Yeah.
So we did it, So we had a great day. But
yeah, it seemed really loose and fun, but that's rock and roll, really.
Yeah, I mean, and we found that Keith is a great singer.
Yeah, I was
Keith
actually pretty surprised. He works really well with you guys.
Tremendous. He does all the Manitoba stuff, and we actually have three lead singers. Three lead singers. Well, we have Andy, right? And we know what he can sing. We know, and we have Albert Bouchard. We know how he can sing.
Oh yeah, I'm a big VOC fan. So to see Albert there with you, I was like, holy shit!
And then we have Keith, and and me. I am like the worst voice. I'm like just the background singer. I just chime in. And,
I bet I could go toe to toe with you on worst singer alive. But
anyway, so the band is really. I think the band's going to be fantastic. It will be fantastic. We're getting shows. We got this show in we have this cruise.
Oh wow.
We have this cruise in April, not in April, in August, with all sorts of people. Stranglers, MC5.
Oh wow, there you go.
Yeah, it's going to be Glenn Matlock.
Oh fuck.
Oh yeah, it's going to be unbelievable. If I should read you the. Let me get to it. Hold on. It's really insane.
Send me the info to see if I could try to swing that. I don't know if I can because I'm taking vacation time.
It goes from Athens to Mykonos.
Oh fuck. Okay, yeah, no, I can't make that swing.
Mykonos to Turkey. Turkey back to Athens. So we have Stranglers, MC5, Buzzcocks, Graham Parker, Wilco Johnson, The Professionals, Glenn Matlock.
Oh man.
The Dictators, Mekons, The Fleshtones, Michael DeBar, The Nomads, Steve Wynn, The Dolly Rots, The Wobbles, Palmyra Delran, and others.
Man, what a fucking bill. That makes me extremely that's awesome that you're doing that, but it sucks that there's no way in hell I could swing that itself.
Yeah. It's going to be great, but it's not the first time. It's not going to be the only time the Dictators will play.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing. We're being managed by Blue Oyster Cult Management
Oh, nice.
and booked, managed and booked by Blue Oyster Cult's guys. So they're looking after us, and me and Albert, and we go back a long ways with them, and so we're really looking forward to a very big, successful uh, thing with the Dictators.
I just want to say, you play anywhere near Buffalo or Rochester, I'll be there, man.
We're putting out a new song December 23rd. It's called Festivus.
Nice.
Festivus. It came out amazing. And then we have another single after the first of the year.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. So, the Dictators thing is really, it's going to be great, And the Ross the Boss Band is doing shows at the end of January. All my promoters they're just flipping out. They're saying the demand is great. They said, all right, okay, we'll see. United States. I got all this stuff in Russia and Europe. My whole European tour is in March. So we'll
That's
see what
awesome.
happens. Or April. So we'll see what happens.
Do you fare better in the European market than the American market these days?
Well, my metal stuff, yeah. But
Okay.
I think the Dictators are going to be exceptionally successful in the United States.
Yeah. There were quite a few people when I mentioned I was interviewing Ross the Boss. They were like, is that the guy from the Dictators? I'm like, yeah. They're like, holy shit, that's awesome. I love them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the demand's definitely there. Now, did
So
you think back when you first started playing guitar, playing music, did you ever think you'd still be doing it at this point in your life?
that's a good question. Especially back in 1975, Andy and I started the band. I mean, to look
Another
45
awesome Andy. That's awesome.
to look 45 years down the road, 45 years, 25, 35, 40. I mean, I couldn't have told you. But all I know is that I keep playing and I keep pushing myself, and I do it for the love of rock and roll, and not for the love of money, because
Yeah,
that's a wrong reason to do things if it's just for money.
absolutely.
But I pride myself on getting better as a guitar player all the time,
Yeah,
and constantly putting out new stuff, and you know keep it fresh, and keeping my music good, and keeping my attitude on stage the way it should be.
absolutely, man. I mean, that's what I just personally love. Someone who does it for the pure love and joy of doing it, not for any of the, you know, that whole era of Gene Simmonses seems to be fading away very quickly, and that's a good thing, I think, at the end of the day.
Well, I mean, you can tell when they're on stage, they have a great time. You know, I don't think they're shucking and jiving on stage. I'm sure they must have,
Oh
but
yeah, absolutely. You have to still enjoy it to do a show of their magnitude at
I
their age.
mean, who wouldn't? I mean, the money those guys making. I mean, you have to have a good time.
Yeah.
You know, but
I mean, I'm not knocking them. It's just two different approaches, kind of in a way.
yeah, two
Um,
did for sure.
so if you don't mind, let's go back to the beginning. Tell me about, the era and time and place where you grew up, and what was I guess, what they would call a flashbulb moment where you decided, hey, that's what I want to do.
I grew up in the Bronx, um, in the '60s, and I decided to play guitar in junior high school, and it's because I was playing violin and piano, and I said, you know what, girls aren't into this shit. I looked at
Yeah.
myself. I said, I'm a Jewish dweeb from the Bronx. I'm a Jewish dweeb. I'm like, I just got my bar mitzvah, and I'm like, wow. I mean, I look like fuck, dude. You ain't getting no girls looking the way you look. So, so I got started playing guitar, grew my hair out, and my idols were English blues, Clapton, Fleetwood Mac, Then I
Peter
went
Green,
to
Fleetwood Mac, right?
Peter Green, Fleetwood Mac, and of course B.B. King. I'm basically a blues guitar player, so it was all good. It was really good. It was a great time to learn music. Great time to learn music, especially guitar music, because every
Yeah.
band had a great guitar player.
Absolutely. I
And
mean,
if you
you
could,
look back at the late 60s and early 70s, you could name every band that was making records at the time, and
right,
every player was fucking amazing.
and if you couldn't play blues, you were just a piece of jack shit. If you
Yeah.
couldn't play blues, you sucked. You sucked.
Yeah.
And my first thing was to learn the blues is my primary love. And I mean, I just, I keep threatening I'm doing a blues record. I just don't have the time. I mean, but I'm going to do it. I will do
Oh,
it.
yeah. I'd love to hear that.
I've made a lot of blues rock records, Heyday,
Yeah.
a lot of moments in my career. I've had a lot of stuff, but so I'm like, we're playing, I'm in the Bronx. I get into this band called Total Crud. It's in junior high school, and then I'm in high school, right? And
Yeah.
they decide to head up to Newport's College in upstate New York.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, and it's like the biggest party school in the world. Like, I mean, back then, that and UCLA was the biggest two party schools in the United States. And I wanted to go to college, but college just wasn't for me. You know
Gotcha.
what? So
Yeah.
I
I
kind of
was
like
the same.
I kind of I kind of blew off college and took my guitar and went to Newport's with the band.
Nice.
And so we used to play dances and rave ups and all sorts of insanity at Newport's, and incredible. We used to jam for like 3 hours, and I would learn. I knew every song, and the band was called Total Crud.
That's great.
Right. So, what? As time went by, I met this guy. This big, tall guy comes up to me. He goes, you are an amazing guitar player, but your band is not so good. I go, yeah, I know. They're not so good. They go, do you want to form a band? I go, who are you? He goes, my name's Andy. I go, I write for a Teenage Wasteland Gazette. I'm a rock writer. My friends write for Crawdaddy and Rolling Stone and stuff like that. So he had a lot of connections and said, that sounds very interesting. And so we're talking, and we have a lot of things in common. We had a lot of things in common in rock and roll. And I'm saying, wow, Flamin' Groovies, MC5, The Who, the Beach
Oh, yeah.
Boys,
These are
you
great
know.
bands that you're naming off that a lot of people don't mention on this channel.
Right, right, and then the Blue Oyster Cult came to mind, and but speaking of Blue Oyster Cult, my friend Richard Meltzer, who writes for Crawdaddy, and he wrote for Crawdaddy.
Yeah.
He,
I was very influenced by Cream starting out as a journalist 13 years ago. So,
right. So Cream was
something to me.
yeah. So Andy, so Andy, we need to form a band. So he said, okay, let's do something. So I quit Total Crud. We're upstate. I got a house in Kerhonkson, New York. And then Andy and I invited our friend Scott Kempner up from the Bronx. I said, Scott, you're not going to college and you're going to be in a band with us. So he goes, okay. So he moves up, and never forget that. It's crazy. And so the three of us, the band was the three of us. So we didn't have a drummer. We didn't have a name yet. So we knew some people. Excuse me. We knew some people. So this guy Louis, I think his name was Louis, who was a drummer, right? Is in Poughkeepsie. So he used to drive across to rehearsal, and his girlfriend fucking hated us.
I was gonna say Poughkeepsie's like 4 or 5 hours away from me, and I'm in upstate New York, so
I know. So I mean, but he did the job. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
oh yeah.
So
I mean,
so he stayed, and we invited Andy invited Richard Meltzer up, and Richard Meltzer brought this guy Sandy Perlman. So
Yeah.
we organized these songs, and we had these songs called Fireman's Friend and Backseat Boogie, and I think we did California Sun or something like that. I don't remember all the songs. We only did two or three songs to Sandy, and and once it was done, he goes, "Don't sign with I don't know, some label or go." And we look at each other and going, "Don't sign." So that must mean they liked us. So he
like what does that mean?
I mean, so he's flipping out. Sandy's like, he goes, "I cannot believe I found the next great guitar player." Because he had Buck Dharma.
Yeah.
And I happen to know, if I wasn't there, it would have never happened. So he goes, "I found the next." He told Meltzer secretly. He said, "You're the next great. You're the great guitar. You're number two. You're the great one." He goes, "Okay, all right." So, red Gatorade. Hold on a second.
No problem.
Hold on. So, as shit happens, we pack up Kerhonkson, right, and we go down to the city. We got to go. We got to get the fuck out of here. We said, "Okay." I think we did our job. We formed the band. I don't think we decided on a name yet. Like Andy had all these names, like the Fabulous Moolah, Tommy the Truck, Beat the Beatles.
Beat the Beatles.
Beat the Beatles.
I love the Beatles, and I love that name.
Beat the Beatles.
I don't know if that makes me a bad person or something, but I think that's a great name.
I mean, I mean, that great wrestler, she was amazing. And I don't know. So we had all these names, and there's one name at the end of the list, the Dictators. And I go, "Hey, Andy, see that name? The Dictators? I think that's us."
Yeah.
So we decided on the Dictators, and we move ourselves down to the city. Water? Yeah. Sorry.
You're okay.
Sorry about that. How much is that, sweetie?
So we had the Dictators, and while we were still up in upstate Manitoba, Richard Blum would come up and be our breakfast chef.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So he wanted, he just wanted to be near the band, and he was like, whatever he could do. Forget about singing. He had no idea that was going to happen. So.
Can we use the machine done by the end?
Yeah.
Forget about the whole.
Yeah. I wonder if I can kill these kids. So
it's kind of funny how like your history in the Dictators goes along with Blue Oyster Cult. You kind of cross there.
Yeah.
A lot. And it's funny because I don't think a lot of people would put you two together like that, because you don't necessarily have the same kind of style
No.
as bands,
But
that shows how diverse things were at that time.
But
That people forget.
Sandy and Murray, like really, we had yet to get the record contract yet. So Manitoba was like the breakfast chef, and we went down to the city, and we did the demo. We did these demos at CBS,
Nice.
and lo and behold, we got signed. So Richard had yet to sing yet, so he
You had
was
never
like,
heard him sing yet? You already got a
no,
record deal? Damn, that's
no, no. So I don't know what was so what was the timing of it? So we would have to start playing, right? So we got signed. We had our name. We would have to start playing. So we started playing in the clubs. Huh? Anyone you want.
I don't know. I don't know who's finished or not yet. This guy's in 5 and this guy's in.
Go wherever you want. Hold on.
They're done now.
This is so cool.
This is exhausting. So yeah, so we're playing along, and I mean Manitoba. We got this truck from Blue Oyster Cult. They gave us this truck.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah, and Manitoba would like destroy awnings of clubs that we would play. So he really wasn't working out as a roadie. You know, he was fucking. It was terrible. And then so we're like playing at Popeyes. This place Popeyes, in Brooklyn. This place it doesn't exist anymore. And so Popeyes was so it was a weekday night. Every asshole in the world was there, drunk, Eric Emerson, all these people. Supposedly Chris Stein from Blondie, he said he was there. So
Oh wow.
yeah, so we're playing, right, and we're doing something, and then I don't know. Andy and I said, "Hey, Richard, you want to sing a song?" He goes, "Huh? Yeah, you want to sing a song?" Yeah. So he comes up and he sings this song. He sings "Wild Thing,"
Oh nice.
and the place fucking flipped. The place fucking just flipped out. He
Nice.
just, like, an asshole from the fucking crowd became a star that night, and yeah. So it was just unreal. It was unreal.
So
So that's
all of
how.
it kind of happened. It seems like quickly and unexpectedly in a very ramshackle, fuck it kind of way.
Yeah. All of a sudden we have a lead singer, and a focal point, and for better for worse. I mean, Andy never was really into it, but he accepted it.
So, I mean, so what clubs were you playing besides, like, we all know CBGBs and stuff
Not
like
yet.
that?
We weren't
What were
playing
some of
CB.
the other clubs that people don't hear about in the history books around that time? If you
We
don't.
hadn't started playing CBGBs yet. It didn't exist. We
Oh,
played
that's right. That didn't exist till like 75, right?
like the
74?
36, the Coventry. We would play in Queens,
Okay.
Popeyes, uh, some other clubs I forgot the name of. Any place that would actually have us.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Kind of the same thing Kiss said. So you kind of played the same circuits. Was this
Right.
around that same time?
Yeah,
72, 73?
they played the Daisy. Now that was beyond that. It was 74 already, 75.
Oh, okay.
They had played the Daisy. They played the Coventry. We played the Coventry with the Dolls.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Now, I've got to ask you personally, what did you think?
What?
What did you think of the Dolls? I've got to ask you because I'm a big fan.
I mean, at the time, those two bands, we looked at each other like we were fucking from another planet. Each band, they looked at us like, who are these fucking? And we looked at them like, who are these people in their mother's clothing? But they were cool. I mean, Johnny Thunders. I could see where people liked him, you know. But
Yeah.
he always had his eye on me. He always had his eye on me.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah. So I
Because
can't.
you were saying that Sandy was saying you were the next big guitar player. And
Yeah.
from what I've read, even Jimmy Page was kind of hanging around Johnny Thunders thinking he was going to be the next big thing. Kind of
Yeah.
funny how you guys were kind of, you know,
Right.
was it an unspoken healthy competition or was it kind of bitter?
Yeah. I mean, you know, we weren't kind of playing like that. It wasn't that kind of competition. It never was.
Gotcha.
It's never that with me. It's not like who plays faster or who plays
Yeah.
this. Or, that's bullshit. You know.
Yeah, all that shit gets really annoying after a while. Who
I mean,
plays faster? Who cares?
if I want to play fast, I could play fast. I could sicken people how fast I can play, and I can. I've done
Yeah.
it. I've done it because these people are fucking wise asses, you know. And just because that's not my thing, and I'm not a shredder, you know,
Yeah.
I'm not a shredding kind of a guy. I go, okay, yeah. It happened like a month ago or something. Yeah. So I was in a club and I just said, the guy was, you don't shred. You just play this one thing. I go, is that right? I've been playing that one thing since 1975 very successfully with like a few gold records, you know. And
Yeah, like
I mean, you know, I said, you know, it just so happens. So I said, we were backstage in the dressing room. I go, okay. So I just picked the guitar up. Okay. All right. Now pay attention. I said, pay attention to me. Watch me. Watch my fingers. And I went.
like as fast as you fucking could on purpose, right?
I wasn't even in fifth gear. I wasn't even
Wow,
in fifth.
holy shit.
And the guy was like, I never knew you could do that. He goes, dude, I could do anything on that guitar. It's just stuff. I don't push it in people's faces. If I have to play fast, I play fast. You know, but if I have to play, I play with what's correct. I
Yeah.
play the correct notes. I don't play just because I'm to be a fucking fast asshole or a
Yeah.
show off. That's not my thing. Okay, you don't
You gotta
last in the.
serve the song at
That's
the
all
end
that
of the
matters.
day.
That's all that matters is the song. You know, I go.
Vinnie Vincent proved that with his solo work.
Yeah. So this kid was humbled.
That's
You know,
good.
he actually apologized to me. I go, dude, you want fast? Go to man. Plenty of stuff on Manowar that's fast.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I was
Plenty of
gonna
stuff
say,
on Rush
like,
the
does he
Boss
not know
Band.
your history at all?
Plenty of stuff on the Death Dealer records. Plenty of stuff. It's all over the records. It's all over the place. So you know, you just tell your friends, don't cross me on guitar. You cross me, this is what happens.
Yeah.
Any other your friends get a little uppity? That's what's going to happen. They don't want to do that on stage to me because, first of all,
Yeah.
I don't take the bait. I just don't take the bait from people. And but it's been an honor to play. That's what I would say. So the Dictators moved forward. So we started playing shows and blah 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 blah. They put us
Were they
out with.
well received early on, or did it take some time to get people to take you seriously?
Well, we switched drummers. We got this guy Stu Boy, I think, because he had a nice drum set and a
Okay.
car. And, he was a weirdo, but they sent us down to Atlanta to play with this band Rush.
Oh
And
wow.
yeah,
Dictators and Rush. What year was this?
it was 75.
Oh, okay.
Dictators Go Girl Crazy just came out. Fly By Night just came out, and they
What
looked
a
at us.
fucking bill.
They looked at us like we were out of the. They looked at us. We were like the biggest assholes in the world. We didn't last very long with them, but it was like I think Alex said, you were a great guitar player. I go, thank you. Unfortunately, I have to deal with the rest. So, you know, we came back up. We fired Stu Boy. Okay, and then we started to change the band. We got a different bass player, and Andy moved to keyboards for a while. You know, things changed. So we got we got asked to leave the record label
Why'd you get asked to leave?
because the record didn't sell.
Ah, that sucks. Because that's such a legendary record in rock history. It really is. Like, and it's just kind of one of those things people forget. It didn't really sell.
Huh? What you need? Hold on.
No problem.
What? Uh, so so we
So
kind
as
of
the band's changing, is the sound kind of changing a little bit as it?
oh yeah, because they're putting us in arenas,
Oh
and
wow, okay.
Sandy, like, you guys have to have a heavier sound for arena. So we got this guy Mark Mendoza from Long
I was
Island.
gonna say I know he's part of your history,
Yeah.
and
So
I've heard his side of things, but
he's great. We have a great relationship. We really do.
nice. Yeah, I figured you guys would get along, but as far as like playing in the band, he was obviously looking for something a little more metal than what you guys were doing, I guess.
No, he loved the band. He wanted to stay because me and Mark completely, and Andy, we all made out. Everything's there's no problem with him whatsoever.
Gotcha.
Only good vibes. So
That's
we put the
awesome.
band,
He's a hell of a bass player too.
one of the best, one
Yes.
of the best.
And most
So
underrated because I mean Twisted Sister was a damn good band, honestly.
How's it going? I've been this good.
everything good?
Yeah, pretty good. I think of the Gatorade. Yeah,
Which good?
orange.
Orange good.
Yeah. How you been, man?
Oh, just wonderful.
Is that a good one?
Ross the Boss, the real deal, everybody.
How's the group going? Good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really padded up in here because it's cold.
Oh, yeah. It's a little chilly sometimes.
Yeah. So, we got the band. Andy was on keyboards for a while, but he had left. He didn't want to play anymore. So it was me, Mark, Scott, and we got a new drummer, this guy Richie Teeter, and it was a pretty good musical unit, man. I can tell you what. I said, fucking heavy as shit, really slamming. And so Andy was lured back, and we started doing arena shows.
Nice. That's quite a jump. How is that going? Did you record anything during this time? Because I know you got
Yeah,
asked to leave the
there's stuff
label.
like there's stuff at the we signed with Electra Asylum Records, and then
Oh, okay.
that's when we went in the studio for Manifest Destiny, and but you know we would play with ZZ Top, we would play with Uriah Heep, we would play with Foreigner, we would play with Kiss, we would play with Blue Oyster Cult, we would play with Burton Cummings, we would play with you name it. You name it, they put us out there with us,
I was
so
gonna say, it sounds like you were kind of thrown in the same way Kiss was, opening for some of the people they opened for.
yeah, but
Um,
they had that, they had that makeup, they had that show,
so
so
yeah, I mean they were totally odd, but you guys were just, I guess, perceived as assholes.
to a lot of extent when you have a lead singer, when you have Mr. Manitoba. So
Yeah.
he's not Mr. Normal on stage.
Or Mr. Nice Guy or anything like that either.
Yeah, like when you have a guy like Iggy, and then the guy like him. I mean,
Yeah.
So, but some nights we would just destroy the crowd. Some nights they would absolutely love us, and some nights they would boo us off the stage.
Wow.
It was hit or miss
Was it
those days.
just depending on the audience, or was it just musically? Some nights you worked and some nights you didn't. Because I know musicians have off nights. I'm one
No,
myself.
we really didn't have off nights. I didn't have off
That's
nights.
awesome.
Mark and I don't have off nights. I never have an off night. But
That's
it's
awesome. I was just curious what it was.
It's-
If it was just an
it's-
audience reaction.
it's the perception of the band to the crowd.
Gotcha.
If they're in a good mood, blah, blah, blah. It depends. A lot of it depends. But
It also, I guess, depends who you're opening for. I can't
yeah,
try a Heat audience having a hard time swallowing the Dictators.
swallowing Manitoba. Yeah, I can understand
Yeah.
that. Who couldn't? I mean, I don't know. If I was a fan of that band and I go there and there's this asshole Manitoba there, I mean, this weirdo, not asshole, I'm just saying, just different personality.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So,
The
so
word asshole isn't always an insult.
Mr. Asshole. So things were going. So we were in the studio. We made Manifest Destiny, and I'm listening to that record now, and I'm saying, what a great record! Oh my god, what a fucking great record! And I'm listening to all this great stuff and these songs and Stepping Out. I'm listening to Stepping Out. I think Stepping Out could be one of my greatest solos ever.
Yeah, it's a damn good one. One
Like
of my
with
favorites from
with
you.
the double guitar solos.
Yeah.
I'm playing harmony with myself. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
listening to that. And I'm like, ooh, this is fucking. I mean, and
Like, did I do that?
I'm like years ahead of everybody.
Yeah.
I'm years ahead of everybody. I'm like where Brian May was.
Yeah,
That kind
because
of
you're
stuff.
doing this in what, 75?
76, 77.
Okay, yeah. Because I think shortly after that, people like Louis John Roth started doing that in some of the Scorpion stuff in the
Yep.
70s and stuff like
Yep.
that.
And I was, listen, I was right there. Listen, I don't like tooting my own horn, but I mean that's what it was. I mean, and but we were like always, is this the real Dictators? I mean, is this arena thing? Is this the real Dictators? Is this what we should be doing? And we came to the conclusion, no, it's not what we should be doing. We should be working back in the clubs, right? We should strip the lineup like the way we were in the beginning.
Yeah.
The true Dictators. So Mark left, Richie Teeter stayed, and then we did Blood Brothers. That stripped down kind of a thing.
Yeah. Back to basics.
Yeah. Huh? All right, hold on. Just 1 hour? 1 hour? 2 hours? Hold on a second.
No
Hold on.
problem.
All right, 2 hours for the entire. 150 an hour. Great. The better coordinator work.
Either way, whatever works out.
I have no feeling 7.
7? And after 7? So let's do 7 through the 6:30.
Where were we? Really?
Ah,
So we stripped the band down. We it was sounding great. It was really
yeah,
good.
Blood Brothers is a great record, man.
Yeah. And so we got these songs together. We went into the studio and recorded it live. There's
Nice.
no overdubs on that record.
That must be
No,
why I love that record so much.
there's no.
'Cause
I
I
didn't do it.
love albums that are recorded like that because they don't make
All,
them anymore.
no, all my leads were done live. There's
That's
no
awesome.
overdubs. If you listen, there's no overdub. It's just left and right.
Yeah.
Scott and I left and right channel. So
Nice.
yeah. So we moved ahead, and that's where we were at for a while. And we playing shows, and the band got tight as hell, tight as fucking hell. And you know, Richie Teeter. After a while, Richie Teeter left. I think, tried to form another band. Blah blah blah. And things kind of fell apart for a while. And Sandy was in Paris.
Gotcha.
Sandy was in Paris, and he met these people. Met this girl, this singer, Fabienne Shine, and they had a band called Shakin' Street. And their guitar player sold his guitar for heroin.
Oh, lovely. One of those.
Yeah, it was great. And Sandy
Oh, it's
goes,
great.
yeah, it's awesome. And Fabienne goes, Sandy, we need a guitar player.
Rock and roll.
Armik sold his guitar for heroin. Sandy goes, well, I have just the guy for you. His band, the Dictators, just they're on hold for a little bit. And he goes, Sandy, is he good? He goes, Sandy goes, is he good? He goes, well, why don't you bring him over? So Sandy goes, I get a call. They want you in Paris. I go, who wants me in Paris? I go, who? What are you talking about? They go, they're called Shakin' Street. They're on CBS France. And Sandy loved that because it was CBS, because
Yeah.
he dealt with
Like
CBS with
fuck
all
you.
he dealt with CBS, with DOC, with The Clash, with all these bands. So
Yeah.
next day I get on the plane. I arrive in Paris and go to the rehearsal place, get a little rest, go to the rehearsal place. I have a crepe, eat me a crepe, and all right, eat me a crepe and go to the university. We have a the guitar player had a studio there, and I played like one song. I said, okay, what song you want to play? He goes, da 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 da. I played 10 seconds, 10 seconds, and they stop. They stop. They go, you're in the band. You want to be in the band? I go, yeah, okay. All right. So I know, so lo and
Wow.
behold, Ross the Boss was in Shakin' Street. So
How long were you in Shakin' Street?
I was in Shakin'. Then we went to San Francisco to record at the Automat. Recorded the record and started playing shows. And Shakin' Street would open for Black Sabbath, Blue Oyster Cult, all over the place. And
Nice.
then I found myself in England, supporting Black Sabbath with Ronnie Dio, and
Oh, nice. History
that's what
there.
led me. Yeah, so Ronnie
This was
Dio,
1980, 81?
1980.
Okay.
So Ronnie Dio comes up to me and goes, I'm on stage doing the sound check. He goes, Ross, you're a great fucking guitar player. I said, thank you, Ronnie. He goes, I know the CBGBs and all the New York rock bands and everything. And he goes, your band is okay, but you need to. I think you should do something different. I said, I was thinking of doing something a little different. So Ronnie goes, I got this guy in my crew. His name's Joey, and he plays bass like nobody you'd ever seen. He goes, okay. So sound check is over, and I get ready for the show, and I seek Joey out. I said, Joey, nice to meet you, man. Ronnie said I should meet you. So we
Wow.
became fast friends. and we started jamming in Black Sabbath's dressing room.
Fucking A.
And, yeah, and we had like the same kind of like interest in music and power music and heavy music and power trios, blah 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 blah. You know, Cream, Black Sabbath,
Oh yeah.
Grand Funk Railroad,
Fuck
Mountain,
yeah.
The Who, any band with three titans in the band, you know, unbelievable. I said, well, so Joey and I, the time went on, decided to form a band. I'm going to form a band with you. So I think we decided that I would leave the band. I would name somebody to take my place, one of our friends, which I didn't want to screw up the band. I didn't want to, you know.
Yeah.
So we asked Sandy. It's part of the song Manowar. And my last show with Shakin' Street was in Aloha Stadium, Hawaii.
Wow.
And so got off the road, started writing songs for Manowar. I had a friend at EMI, Bob Curry, and lo and behold, we had a record deal.
Fucking A, man. So I have one quick question. Is that Shakin' Street record out of print or is it still available in print?
I think it's still available. I think it is. You know,
I'll have
but
to hunt it down because I've always seen the name on posters and I thought it was an MC5 offshoot because I'd always
right,
see the name and I
right,
never saw much written about you guys. So
right.
I never
So
knew you were a part of that until I did your Wikipedia and stuff and
uh huh.
information. Because I know you've done more than just Dictators and Manowar, and I didn't want
Oh,
to, you know.
tons of shit. 60 records.
Yeah,
So
I know. It's fucking insane, man. You're
yeah.
like, you are a working man's rocker, and you're such an inspiration to people like me.
And you know, so Shakin' Street is she's doing a new record. She's doing a
Oh,
record with
really?
she's been doing records for a while. I've been
That's
going
awesome.
on and off. As a matter of fact, the Dictators NYC backed her up in Paris 3 years ago.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, but she's doing a new record with No from Trust is producing, and so we'll see what happens. But that's basically. I'm not even going to get into the RTB and the Death Dealer, and I mean it's just so
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
But
But so Manowar got signed to EMI, you said?
yep.
And you started working on the first album. What was the
And,
reception like to Manowar, and whose idea was it for loincloths?
well, it wasn't quite loincloths. I never wore one. We just wanted the fur to be different than the black leather. You know, so
Okay.
I said, what would separate us from black leather? I mean, black leather and studs are cool that Iron Maiden and Priest had, but what's more wild than black leather and
Yeah.
fucking animal skins, you know? And around that time that we saw the uh, Conan movie and really influenced the band and
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Conan the Barbarian.
oh my god, and the music and everything. So kind of like set our path, and you know, the band was born. That first record is just unlike anything that's ever been put out. It's called now they call it power metal.
Yeah.
Power metal didn't exist until that record really came out. So
Yeah. It's weird because, like, they say that you guys and Dio helped pave the way for bands like Halloween and stuff later on, but it doesn't seem like the power metal term existed until post Manowar.
battle hymns, battle hymns that Into Glory ride. I mean, there's
Oh yeah.
so many moments. But now they said Viking rock. We invented Viking rock. We invented pagan rock. You guys
Folk folk metal.
black black death. I don't know, vomit metal. I don't know.
Yeah, it's got to the point where I started seeing band names like Anal Cunt, and I'm like, that's far enough for me. I don't need to go any further than your name.
Brilliant shit, bro. Brilliant shit.
Yeah, I
But
know, right? Still tastes.
yeah, I think so. But the band has stood the test of time.
It
Uh,
really has.
people come to me on the Ross the Boss shows. I play a lot of all my old music,
Yeah.
The music that I wrote, and people come to me and they're like, these men, these are grown men that are on their knees, like kissing. I mean, they're literally, you know,
The Wayne's World, Alice Cooper, we're
I
not
mean,
worthy thing.
the reverence that people have for me, and the dedication and love it's just unbelievable. And like,
Yeah.
you gotta rejoin Manowar. You gotta join. The magic is gone. You have to. You have to. If I would go back to Manowar, we could do a tour bigger than Metallica. Bigger than Metallica. But
I'm not the
but
biggest fan of Metallica, so I'd
but you
probably
know how
agree with you there.
bigger than Iron Maiden. So uh, my friends go. Joey, me and Joey just don't have a great relationship, a terrible relationship.
Ah,
So,
gotcha.
but anyway, the music stands.
How was the reaction to Manowar? Because that's quite a leap musically from the Dictators a bit.
Well, a lot of people said, "What the fuck? How could the guy that did that do that?" I
Yeah,
mean,
that's what I mean. Like it's the same
they
guitar
couldn't believe
player,
it.
and it's two totally different animals.
People say
Equally
that.
as awesome in its own right.
People ask me that all the time in interviews. How did you manage to do the Dictators, then do that? I mean, it's just listen. I play the same. We're just a little different. You know, I changed the modes up a little bit. You
Yeah,
know, it's still the same rock and roll. You know,
yeah. It's just
and
a
that
different interpretation, I guess, on one
yeah,
end.
and that's what's left of Manowar now, the magic. And so that's basically.
How did the tour go? How was the reception to the album commercially, critically, whatever?
Well, in the beginning, it was very difficult. Uh, EMI had no idea what this band was all about. So, you know,
They're probably like, how the hell do we market this?
they had no idea. They had no idea, but they gave us a shitload of money. We bought a shitload of equipment, and then they dropped the band.
Oh,
So
wow.
we were with Bill Aucoin, Kiss's manager. He got us a buyout, and we went and recorded "Into Glory Ride," and
Nice.
then the labels. Then we got Megaforce, Johnny Z's label that discovered Metallica.
Metallica.
Yeah, and so the rest was history. We're back. We were back doing what we do, and the band's following started to, especially in Europe.
Oh, yeah. I remember when I was about 14 years old, a buddy of mine's dad was getting rid of all his cassettes because cassettes were no longer in vogue. This was like 2002.
Right.
And that was the first time I heard you guys, because in there was an old weathered cassette, but it still played. The case was shot, but it was Hail to England.
Great record.
Phenomenal. I put it on.
Unbelievable.
I'm like, holy shit.
You guys paid, right? Paid, right? Okay. Take care.
I
Oh
was just
yeah.
like, this is Priest and Maiden like on steroids. I had never heard anything like it, you know.
Hail to England is an unbelievable record. Unbelievable.
I love the cover image, like just to this day.
Ken
Um,
Landgraf.
you know. But I mean, when did Manowar end for you then? Was there
Well,
ever any iteration then
man,
that
yeah, Joey and I were partners, and we went uh, on the sixth record. We did Fighting the World, Sign of the Hammer, Hail to
yeah.
England, Sign of the Hammer, Fighting the World,
I think I
and
had Sign of the Hammer on tape too.
then Kings of Metal. Kings of Metal was my last record.
Oh, okay.
Uh, so it was an unbelievable power grab. Selfish Joey's support. He wanted to control all the money, and
Ah, gotcha.
that's just the way things are. But I had it up to here with him. So
Yeah.
I'd rather protect my rock and roll soul. that I,
Well,
I,
yeah,
I
because once you get someone like that into the band, it's miserable and
you know,
it's not fun and it's just
if we
I don't
played our
know.
cards, if we would have played our cards right, the band would have been bigger than Maiden, and that's
I
where the band was
definitely
held.
could see that without a doubt because I mean, just the fact that people know you still from just Man of War alone, I mean, that should say for something, you know?
One second. What?
I'm sorry about that. You got an ice pack?
An ice pack?
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on a second.
Sorry. Huh? Sure. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
She does that because she knows that she'll get what she wants, you know.
Kiss fan.
Yeah.
You tell them how big of a Kiss fan we are?
Someone's a Kiss fan?
Uh-huh.
I am too.
There you go. Look, you're showing it.
Yeah.
That's sick. Fucking go around.
My son and my wife are huge Kiss fans.
Yeah, I am too. I've got a Creature's Gold record with my name on it.
Oh, nice.
I've been a paid member of the Kiss Army since 2006.
Ooh.
They were the
Ooh.
band that started it all for me and why I do what I do when I was 5 years old. So I kind of owe it to them in a way.
Uh-huh.
So what year did you exit Manowar then? I mean, we know the reason. You don't have to go into that much if you don't want to.
1988.
Okay. So did you go back to the Dictators then, or did you start
And,
doing something different?
well, I sort of did. We had this band, they had started a band called Manitoba's Wild Kingdom.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And of course, Daniel Ray is a cool, good guitar player, but he's no Ross the Boss. And, Ross the Boss is hanging out there. And guess who's going to be the guitar player of the
Oh,
Manitoba's
yeah.
Wild?
Yeah.
So, right. So I joined on. Yeah.
Nice.
And this guy, Andy Wallace, was the mixer. He mixed Manitoba's Wild Kingdom. And guess what was the next band he mixed?
What was that?
It's some band from Seattle. It began with an N,
Oh,
I.
yeah.
Nevermind was the next record that he mixed.
Okay,
So
yeah.
kind of changed music.
Kinda. The funny thing is, and because I was born like a month before, almost to the day that record came out.
Uh huh.
I'm actually friends with a lot of the people that didn't make it in that scene. And I'm friends with Chad, the original drummer.
Uh huh.
Nobody expected or wanted any of that to happen. That
Wow.
was all the record labels doing, really, in reality.
That record changed the world.
What's your opinion on that era? Because some people from the 80s metal era really hate those bands.
Well, I got to tell you something. Those hair bands were getting on my nerves. I wasn't a big, I'm not a fan of hair bands.
Yeah.
Not at all.
You don't
Some of
seem
them are
like
okay.
the type to be a fan of hair bands.
No, we weren't. Believe me, we weren't. And it kind of got so carried away. These guys got so carried away. It was just really hideous. They got crazier, and I don't know.
I think they got dumber towards the end of the 80s, honestly.
Huh? Dollar.
Can you get Pringles?
Hold on.
No
Hold
problem.
on.
As long as it's not candy, chips is fine.
Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, it just got so carried away. The glam movement was just, and kind of like when uh, Nirvana hit, what would they call it? Grunge. When
Yeah.
grunge hit, kind of like erased them overnight. It erased them overnight. It erased all those bands overnight. The fucking show was over.
Yeah. I mean, even Tom Petty says he cut them down like a, sickle going through a wheat field.
Yeah, that's right. So, didn't hurt me.
I mean, did that make you kind of be like kind of appreciative of them in a way?
Of
That
Nirvana?
of
Well,
those bands who killed those bands, or like, was there any musical elements that you could kind of dig from those bands? I
yes.
guess is what I mean.
Yes. Yes, there was. There was a bunch of music that I liked. I liked Soundgarden. I liked some of course, some of those Nirvana songs were really great, and great arrangements.
Yeah,
I mean, great, unbelievably great arrangements for music.
and it was so
Um,
simple,
that's right,
you know.
and powerful, and
It was about
the,
the song again, not how many notes you can hit in a second.
always great, and the grunge was, but then that got carried away.
Yeah, it did
You know,
rather
they got,
quickly, a lot
yeah,
quicker than the hair bands, though.
yeah, they got carried away with the whole thing too. With who could dress down, how many flannel shirts can they, you know, but that's okay. I mean,
It got to the point where a lot of the people who actually were like founders of that scene consciously stopped wearing flannel.
yeah. I mean, they what happens is when a movement of rock and roll comes in, they 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 pound it to death.
Yeah,
They
they
pound
swoop
it to
in,
death.
they suck everything out of it, and they
Every record,
disappear onto the next thing.
every record company signs every fucking band that exists. Okay, that even like every fucking glam band got signed, and even if
Yeah.
every every block they were getting signing bands.
Well,
You
the same
know,
thing happened in the, mid to late 70s with what you were doing with the Dictators. All of a
sure,
sudden, all these
right.
other bands were getting signed. It's
All
the
these bands
same
got
thing.
signed out of CBGBs.
Yeah.
The record companies come swooping in, and
And it was the same thing over in England, too. It
with the
wasn't
punk,
any
right?
different.
Exactly, exactly, and but they signed every glam band, and they signed every grunge band, and it was just, oh my god, it's just. But that's what record companies do. That's that these A&R guys, they have no super originality except for some, and you know
Yeah.
a ton of money was wasted.
I mean, I think it's hysterical that you had those cute little, like, after Kurt died, then the record companies went into a panic and signed these cute little kids from Australia who kind of looked and played like Nirvana, and they were called Silverchair.
Who were they called?
Silverchair. They were
Oh,
like young kids at the time.
yeah, yeah.
They got
Well,
signed and got major because, well, it was like right after Kurt died. So,
I mean, a lot of it was going. A lot of it was going to stick. Some of it's going to stick. The
yeah,
good shit sticks. The rest of the bad shit sucks.
yeah, it's the
You know.
same in every musical movement.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, how did obviously you survived the 90s, quote unquote, just fine.
Well, my son here, Jesse, was born. So I wasn't totally super concentrating on music. My,
Okay.
my my son was born, and it was in '91, and
Okay,
so
so me and your son are about the same age.
yeah. So, but things started to ramp up again.
When
So
did they start to ramp up for you?
well, the dictators started going to Spain like around '96,
Nice.
going to Spain. We had this promoter. The crowds, we went once. That was good. Then the next time we went, the crowd doubled. The next time we
Wow.
went, the crowd quadrupled. I mean, the band was just unbelievable. The band became very, very famous in Spain, and so things just led me to. Uh, I had another band called Heyday, right? Then I had a band called the Spinatras, and then I had the band called the Pack. The Pack was before all that. And I'm going to get all those records together and package them all up.
Nice.
And yeah, so I have so many unreleased records that I'm going to package up.
Please
Heyday.
keep me posted on all that, man.
I will. 21st Century. I have this guy over there. He's very, very interested in this, and so we're going to finally get around to doing it. So
Awesome.
yep. And then I started playing these solos for these bands in Germany. This band Majesty, uh, really brought me back to the metal scene, and
Nice.
so things started ramping up. I played Earthshaker with Manowar in 2004, and
Nice.
people said, "You gotta play old school Manowar. You gotta play old school Manowar. They're not doing it, man." And I did it, and had a band. Blah blah blah. I got signed to AFM,
Nice.
and now I'm up to my fifth record actually with AFM.
That is awesome, man.
Right, and then I joined another band called Death Dealer.
Yep. I was gonna
So,
say we mentioned that briefly earlier.
right, I have 3 records with Death Dealer, 4 records with Ross the Boss, and so it's all good.
So, what are your future plans for the near future for all
Well,
of your bands?
well, the Dictators, as I said, are putting out. That's the single December 23rd, Festivus. We're putting out a brand new single after the New Year's. Um,
Nice. You
Dictators.
should send that to me if you can, so I can play it on Hard Rock
We're,
Hell.
we're having our first major rehearsal on Saturday
Awesome.
For all day Saturday at Keith's house, and then the Ross the Boss band is playing in the end of January. We're playing Dingbats. We're playing all these places. We're playing like 7 shows, and
Nice.
supposedly the interest is off the charts. Good, and then my European tour, the RTB European tour, in April, and then the summer festivals, and everything's ramping up. What can I say?
That's awesome. You'll have to keep me posted when you come up to my area, man. I'll be
I
out
will.
there.
I will.
So I guess in closing, when I ask every guest I have on the show, what is it that you love about music?
What I love about music is when I'm on stage, I have a feeling that doesn't exist anywhere else but when I'm on stage. Okay, there's this energy when I'm on stage. It's just, if I could bottle it up, if I could bottle what I feel up, that adrenaline, it's I could make $1 billion.
Yeah,
I could make $1 billion. It would sell. I mean, but that's what no matter how big of a crowd, small crowd, big crowd, any crowd, when I'm on stage, when I have a guitar in my hands, doesn't matter who I'm really playing with. I just it's an exquisite feeling that I get when I'm playing, and it started when I started to play when I was very young, and it still plays now. So
awesome, man. Well, thank you very much, man. This has been an honor. Um, Once again, this has been the Rock and Roll Gypsy Diaries with your host Andy Thunders, interviewing Ross the Boss. If you like what we're doing here, hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you very much. Is there anything else you want to tell them before we go?
well, I would say if you really want to check out the Ross the Boss band. I know if metal's not your thing, that's really cool, but believe me, after you see us, metal will be your thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be great. We really play well. I mean, the band's fantastic. Mike LaPone, one of the greatest bass players. Steve Bolognese, an amazing drummer. Mark Lopes, amazing singer, and of course me. But it's all good. Come see me. Come see me.
Absolutely, man. All right. Well, thank you very much. You have a good night, man.
Nice. Finally, we could get this going, and have a great night, Andy, and take care of yourself.
You too, man.
I will.
Later.
Hold on.
I'm out.
See you,
All
Jess.
right. Where's the stop?
That's a lot to remember.